Some smart women, not being conventionally attractive, reach a kind of enlightenment. Why not date someone less attractive? At hostess clubs, if a less attractive woman appears, that's good. Without strong conversation skills, they couldn't succeed. Even at girls' bars, less attractive women are often the most popular for being funny and great at conversation. But they know their place and act accordingly. Some say, a model type with a big chest but an unattractive face is out of the question, even though I'm a virgin. Even virgins talk like that. Having lived for 18 years, I've come to think that women are not very smart and can't view themselves objectively, which has made me lose interest in romance. You might have lost interest in romance, but as a man, you still like the female body. You dislike women. But this world is vast. There are women who can view themselves objectively and understand the pain of living. Well, there are smart women out there. You might not have met them yet, but they do exist. They might be few, but they are there. Right? If you're cute, the praise can be a lot, easy to get cocky and misunderstand. I think there are smart women who have gained perspective because they aren't attractive, so try dating someone who isn't beautiful. Older women who aren't attractive have a more philosophical view, so date them. Try a woman over 30. If she's not attractive, she's probably not smart either. That's about looks, right? Today there's makeup and plastic surgery after all. Even so, there are some women who are unattractive, and no amount of makeup or cosmetic surgery can help. It's really not just for fun. Please stop the stealth marketing. This is direct marketing. If an unattractive person shows up at a club, it's a hit. Without skills, they can't survive. Even in places like Galba, the popular ones are less attractive or have interesting stories. People want to have fun and enjoy the vibe for one night. Unattractive women with interesting stories could be wanted. Don't hate unattractive women. Aim for them. Smart unattractive women should get surgery. Is this an introduction? Quiet. Having both a funny face and conversation, an ugly hostess is the best. Don't say terrible things, you. When I say cute, it's not the same. Not everyone sees me as cute or beautiful. That's not what I mean, and that's what's good about it. It's more like, wait, is she ugly? Or maybe cute? That kind of girl on that line saying outrageous things. Whether I'm funny or not, that's up to each person. Some people see a woman over 30, past her expiration date, saying provocative things and think it's just painful. It depends on the person. It's tough if you're ugly and not even funny, right? But even among the ugly ones, those ugly ones. So there are two types. The ones who became reserved and quiet because they knew their place, and the ones who accepted being called ugly and used that to lighten the mood and bring energy to the room. There are those who, being ugly, understood their position and became withdrawn, thinking, someone like me shouldn't... And I feel like it's kind of society's fault for making them that way. I mean, the reason they ended up with that kind of personality is because people around them kept calling them ugly and criticizing them, right? So when everyone says things like, shut up, you're ugly, and who do you think you are acting like that when you're ugly? As a result, they end up thinking, okay, I won't say anything anymore, I'm sorry, and become silent. That kind of ugly person was created by everyone else. That face too. She might just be an uninteresting ugly girl, but even so, ugly girls know they're ugly and act that way. It would be cruel to blame them. These days, being ugly means you get teased. Since she was little at family gatherings, if you were the ugly one, there'd always be a relative, like an uncle, who'd say, you really look a lot like me. Then he'd try to comfort you with something mysterious like, for women it's all about charm anyway. And she'd think, wait, am I really that much like this old guy? As a child, adults thought she wouldn't understand, so they'd just say, for girls it's all about charm. Instead of addressing that directly, they'll praise you for something else. From a young age, girls really get caught up in this storm of being called ugly, even just being a little less attractive. And when you look at YouTube now, there are so many cute girls, right? Even with unfiltered cameras on YouTube, there are tons of really cute girls. And when you see those girls showing their faces and still getting called ugly, then for someone who's truly not conventionally attractive, it's like, wait, if even this is considered ugly, and they end up feeling like they can't show themselves anymore in this world. Women are expected to be charming, and even unattractive women with charm can be popular. But before that, many cheesy nerds criticize women just by looking at their faces and call them ugly. So even if an unattractive woman wants to use her charm, those nerds won't give her a chance to show it. Still, if you have charm, even if you're not attractive, you can get married and so on. Actually, I think it's easier. Unattractive but charming women are smart. They already know they're not attractive. She's a smart, ugly girl who decides to live by relying on her charm. And honestly, girls like that can actually be pretty popular. But does that mean being called ugly doesn't hurt? No, that's not the case at all. Ugly is such a heavy word. What a destructive word it is. Like, even if your hair is super shiny and silky, your skin is fair and really beautiful. If someone calls you ugly, then you're just ugly. Even if you have a great figure and big boobs. Even if someone has super long eyelashes and a small face, if you call them ugly, it's such a destructive word that it can shatter everything before. Seriously, Ugly has that much destructive power, so you shouldn't use it casually. Even though I've probably said it dozens of times just in this stream, it's not something to throw around lightly. You really shouldn't toss it out there carelessly, especially for elementary school boys. Actually, in elementary school, ugly doesn't even matter. Back then, just being fast at running made you popular. For boys in elementary school, just being fast or good at sports is enough. They're super popular. But for girls, everything is already decided by looks from elementary school. By second or third grade, the cute girls are already at the top of the social hierarchy, even though it's just elementary school. It's amazing. From such a young age, girls are ranked by their faces. That's why, when it comes to appearance, girls are stricter than boys. From elementary school, it's all about looks. Even in elementary school, boys call girls ugly. Ugly is subjective, so technically it's an NG word, but since it's subjective, it is what it is. Still, being called ugly really hits girls hard. Yeah, even if a girl is fast or good at sports, it does not really make her popular. But if a boy is good at sports, he gets popular in elementary school. Hey, don't call me ugly. For someone like me, used to being called that, the word ugly comes at me from all directions. But I've developed ways to deal with it. So, I just accept being called ugly. But if you suddenly call a woman who isn't used to fighting online ugly, it's like hitting her with a nuclear weapon. From her perspective, she's like, why me? I didn't do anything. And then, boom, she gets hit. And once she's been hit, it's not just for that moment. She'll carry it for life. It becomes a lasting after effect. The word ugly scars a woman's life, like a keloid always twitching. That's how much it hurts. An ugly woman with a model's body and big breasts is out of the question. Even I, a virgin, think so. Even virgins say that. It's the opposite of live, for you are beautiful. If you're ugly, it's fine to die now. That's harsh. So, the opposite of live, you are beautiful, is ugly. Go die, right? I get it. But actually, that's true. You know, I was talking about how truly unattractive people don't really get called ugly. I think everyone feels the same. You just don't call someone genuinely unattractive ugly. If you did, it wouldn't be a joke. It's like telling someone with no legs, you don't have legs. If you call someone ugly, that's why it's always the girls who are borderline who get called ugly. Those girls think they're cute. So they're not truly ugly, but from a general perspective, they're so-so. Calling those girls ugly is what gets people going, you know? That's what people are into. Yeah, the ugly girl you can laugh at. For example, even if in reality she gets attention and has guys around, she's still ugly. Those are the girls called the ugliest. People don't like them because though they're not cute, they're still popular, and that annoys others. Plus, though she's ugly, she looks down on me. Those somewhat popular but still ugly girls get called the ugliest. It's not like they're actually unpopular. They just don't think of themselves as ugly, and that's what makes it interesting. Is that a self-introduction? Shut up. People like me are easy targets for ugly jokes. I'm not super cute, but if you called me ugly, truly ugly people would get mad. So I'm easy to make fun of for being ugly, and sometimes my face really does look terrible. The way I'm drawn, my appearance. Sometimes I think, wow, I look ugly. I'm a woman who's easy to tease about being ugly. That's just how it is, and I'm getting older too. So, being called an old hag or teased for being ugly is acceptable for me, but I still get a lot of criticism for it. The face they used for me on Yahoo News was ugly. Sometimes I look like that. That's why it's easy for people to bash someone, since I have times when I look ugly. Kat, what are you doing? Hey, don't climb up there. Ugh, sorry about that.